Action over a proposed extension to his deal at Tannadice. Not that United plan to let that bother them as they take on holder Celtic in the top tie of the Cup quarter-finals on Sunday.
The last time Dundee United played Celtic, there were tears for the Tannadice team. Scotland under-21 midfielder David Hanna showed the emotion that everyone connected with the club felt about relegation. This season he's become the latest player to threaten legal action against United over a long-term contract. Chairman Jim McLean says players should be honest with themselves and the club.
We recently have an article in a paper where a player supposedly earning between £200 and £300 a week. The actual fact of that last year's earnings of that player is between £30,000 and £35,000 earning with a club that was relegated. And very seldom did that player play in the first team. And this is what people outside are believing that is actual fact.
Are we talking about David Hanna here?
We're not talking about any individual player. You can name whoever you want. But the absolute rubbish that people outside are listening and reading in the paper. And we're spending more time bickering about things like that. At the end of the day, if they go out and win the games, as is proved with just the fact I gave you, the earnings of the actual player concerned is £6,700 a week in a club that was relegated. He helped to relegate. In the real working world, that is an exceptional wage, in particular for a 21-year-old. I find it horrendous what the concentration is and where we spend all our time in football at the moment. And there's no doubts at all that I know that I'm different from most other people, but at the end of the day, you've got to be honest with your work, and that means giving an honest day. And in my opinion, too many players have a lot up their sleeve, especially when you're negotiating contracts with them, and how good they are in comparison to how good they're prepared to play.
This was the goal which took Dundee United to the quarter-finals of the Tennent's Scottish Cup and a healthy payday at Celtic Park. But the club is by no means certain of a return trip to the Premier Division, and the consequences could be serious.
Obviously, being in the First Division is a place that Dundee United just can't afford to be, and without doubt we'll be lucky if we get out with £1 million loss this season. But there's no doubt I am saying that it's time the players realise what is at stake for themselves and how much they're prepared to give to get back there. If they think they deserve to be there, then in my opinion they'll need to give collectively far more than we've been getting so far to guarantee it. I still think that it's there for us, but there's no doubt at all that we cannot approach another year in the First Division with the same staff.
The United players will certainly need to give their Sunday best at Celtic Park, or they could be overrun. Celtic, on the sort of form they showed here in the fourth round of the Cup against Raith Rovers, are a class act.
It's an exciting prospect. They're playing really good, attractive football just now. They're scoring goals quite freely. But we're going to go there and enjoy ourselves. Never played against them this season. That's a nice change. We've got to go and play the way we can play, get the ball down and pass it about.
It's a good tie for both clubs because I think the fact that you play Premier League clubs 4 times over, at least in a season. When it comes to cup ties, it's nice if you have something a wee bit fresh, and I think Dundee United are looked upon really as a Premier League club, so it'll be a difficult tie. But at the same time, we've not faced them this season, and so there'll be a bit of freshness about the game.
And you can see the whole match live from Celtic Park on Sunday. Sports Scene, the road to Hampden starts at 2:55 BBC Scotland on 1, with the kick-off at 3:15. And there's also highlights of Leeds United against Liverpool in the FA Cup.